Have you ever noticed that some of the smartest people you know don't seem to chase crowds? They don't always enjoy parties. They don't constantly text people. Sometimes they disappear for days, not because they're lonely, but because they choose to be alone. At first glance, it can seem strange. But what if being alone isn't a weakness at all? What if it's one of the greatest strengths an intelligent mind can have? Today, we're uncovering the hidden psychology behind why highly intelligent people often choose solitude over constant social interaction. Think about the last time you finally had a quiet moment. No notifications, no conversations, just your own thoughts. For many people, silence feels uncomfortable. They immediately reach for their phone or turn on the TV. But for others, silence feels like freedom. This difference isn't just about personality. Psychology suggests it can reveal how our minds process the world around us. By the end of this video, you'll understand why intelligent people often enjoy being alone, and why solitude doesn't always mean loneliness. Imagine walking into a busy cafe. People are talking, coffee machines are buzzing, phones are ringing. Most people barely notice the noise. But someone with a highly active mind often processes much more information than everyone else. Their brain isn't simply hearing sounds. It is analyzing faces, reading emotions, observing body language, and connecting countless details all at once. This constant mental activity can become exhausting. That's why being alone isn't an escape from people. It's a chance for the brain to breathe. Psychologists often describe solitude as a mental reset. Without endless distractions, the brain can organize thoughts, reflect on experiences, and solve problems more effectively. Sometimes the smartest conversations happen entirely inside your own mind. Picture two people. One has hundreds of acquaintances. The other has only 3 close friends. Who is happier? Research suggests that meaningful relationships contribute far more to long-term well-being than simply having a large social circle. Many intelligent people naturally prefer deep conversations over small talk. Instead of asking, "How's the weather?" they ask, "What gives life meaning?" Instead of seeking attention, they seek understanding. This doesn't mean they dislike people. It simply means superficial interactions often leave them emotionally drained rather than fulfilled. For them, one honest conversation is worth more than 100 empty ones. Have you ever had your best idea while taking a shower, walking alone, or lying awake at night? That's not a coincidence. Creative thinking often appears when the brain enters what neuroscientists call the default mode network. This is the mental state that becomes active when we're not focused on outside distractions. During quiet moments, the brain connects old memories with new ideas. That's why writers, inventors, scientists, and artists throughout history often spent long periods alone. Solitude isn't where creativity dies. It's where creativity begins. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are born in complete silence. Social media has taught us something dangerous. We often measure our value through likes, followers, and attention. But intelligent people gradually learn a different lesson. Real confidence doesn't come from applause. It comes from knowing who you are, even when nobody is watching. Because they spend more time reflecting on themselves, they often become less dependent on external approval. This doesn't mean they never feel insecure. It means they don't allow other people's opinions to define their identity. And that freedom is incredibly powerful. Here's something many people misunderstand. Being alone and feeling lonely are not the same thing. Loneliness is the painful feeling of lacking meaningful connection. Solitude is the peaceful choice to spend time with yourself. Someone can stand in the middle of a crowded room and still feel completely alone. Another person can spend an entire weekend by themselves and feel deeply content. The difference isn't the number of people around you. It's the quality of your relationship with yourself. Intelligent people often build that relationship first. And because they enjoy their own company, they don't feel pressured to constantly surround themselves with others. Of course, solitude isn't perfect. Too much isolation can affect mental health, increase stress, and reduce emotional well-being. Psychology doesn't suggest that intelligent people should avoid others. Instead, it suggests they know when to step away. They understand something many people forget. Growth requires both connection and reflection. The healthiest minds know when to socialize and when to return to silence. Because sometimes your greatest teacher isn't another person. It's your own thoughts. So why do intelligent people often prefer being alone? Not because they hate people, not because they're arrogant, and not because they're broken. They choose solitude because it gives them something the modern world rarely offers. Space to think, space to create, space to understand themselves. The next time you see someone quietly sitting alone, don't assume they're lonely. They might simply be having the most important conversation of their life, the one happening inside their own mind. Because sometimes, the loudest discoveries are made in complete silence. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden side of human behavior, subscribe to Time Uncovered for more psychology documentaries that explore the fascinating mysteries of the human mind. And tell us in the comments, do you recharge by being around people or by spending time alone?